The scariest thing for most people to be is themselves. Do you have the courage it takes to do it? That is the goal of today's video. Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Moleski. This is my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about what I just said. The courage it takes to be you and why we're so afraid of it. And we'll hopefully get down to what you're afraid of, and then we'll try to convince you to be what you're afraid of, which is you. And also I'll be going live on Friday. You know, I was using the keyword. I would just say a word and you'd have to use it. It doesn't matter. And I was going to respond to those comments on Friday, but I suck at it. So I'm just going to go live on Fridays for a little bit. If you have a question, hit me up there. Okay? All right. So my question for you, my first question is, what are you responsible for actively right now? Think of an average day. Within that day, are your actions moving you in the direction of where you genuinely want to go? Or is it moving you away from where you genuinely want to go into the direction that you think you should go, or maybe where you think they think you should go? I would say that the healthiest and happiest people in the whole wide world are ones who actively are being themselves. That's all. And all the time. That's all and all the time. So, who do you want to be? How close to you are it? How afraid of being it are you? What spooks you about it? And how much of who you are is because it's who you want to be? Years ago, I worked at a fine dining restaurant and we had a meeting, a server meeting, and there was a waitress that attended who was not supposed to work that night, and she looked so good. She was a pretty girl anyway, but she was just dressed very nice. And I asked her, "Oh, do you have another job?" And she said, "No." I said, "Oh, did you come from a meeting or something?" And she said, "No." I said, "Well, what was going on today? You look so nice." She said, "This is just how I dress." And I was envious of her that she got to leave the house dressing really pretty for no reason. And I was surprised that she left the house and looked pretty just for no reason. I, on the other hand, dressed for who I was. I was sporty, you know, run, hike, bike, climb, rock climb, and I dressed casually. But there was another side of me that I wanted to express, a more feminine side, a side that wanted to try to be beautiful. I really love beauty. I have a whole video ready to tell you about the importance of beauty. But anyway, I was afraid to convey it to people. I was afraid of changing my style. What would people think about me? What would my friends think about me? How would I be perceived? Would people just think I was trying to get attention? Would I get attention? Would it be bad if I got attention for looking nice? Would it be better if I just wore clothes that made me blend in like everyone else? Would that be more noble? Would that be worse? Why did I like to see people with nice clothes on? Did I even have the right to be in that small little club? I looked at dressing well with high value. You might not, but that's why I told you that story. Does it matter? Would you not do something that you put high value in because someone else doesn't put high value in that? And isn't it ridiculous that it took a long time for me thinking about my wardrobe and finally giving myself permission to look nice when I left the house? I had to give myself permission after weeks of thinking about it. And that's a small thing. Think of the people listening. I think of the people listening, you, who to get to their authentic self have to make a way bigger leap. But I still want you to do it. It's worth it, I think. If you ignore what you want to be, you miss out on experiencing who you really are. And that alone makes the world, or our culture in general, way less authentic. And many people are playing pretend, but the thing is, everybody knows it. To the extent that when you meet somebody honest, you're uncomfortable. Many people, not you, shocked, skeptical, or they feel so alive around them because they can't believe they found a genuine human. The other thing that's worth remembering is the unexamined life is not worth living. Many people have set who they really are aside, never to be thought of again. But what remains is soul's knowledge of the abandoned self, and it does not want to be forgotten. And since you're refusing to look within, the soul will have you look without. Your soul's eye is always on the prize, which is authenticity. When someone ignores who they are, they turn into the kind of person who diminishes other people's successes and happiness, simply because the pain of their lack is more visible to them when the bright light of someone's actual happiness and authenticity is turned on. They are jealous and envious. And the only repellent for jealousy and envy is to know what you genuinely want and to take steps to get it. All I want is for you to be yourself. Because not being yourself is painful and ridiculous. And there's so many people who are just the same. What if Elon Musk was like, But what if they don't like me? What if they don't like me? That's more like it. That's the guy voice. Okay, I'm gonna switch gears here and say when you acquire something without earning it, you're more frivolous with it. I think of college kids who don't have to pay their own tuition, their parents do. I think of and then they take school for granted. I think of kids who have their car paid for by their mom and dad. They don't really care about their car. They kind of trash it. And I think of lottery winners, people who win a lot of money. It was a fluke. It was unearned. And when things aren't earned, you typically don't know how to manage it. Did you know that 70% of lottery winners go broke? And it's like within 5 years. They give away too much money to friends and family. They give away all the resources, often to people who really don't care about them because they don't really understand that this powerful tool, in this case money, could ever be depleted. What are the odds of winning the lottery? What would you do? Would you give away all of your money? Would you give away all of your lottery money to people who don't care about you? I ask you because you have won the lottery. This is going to get corny. You have won something totally unearned and you don't know how to manage it at all. The odds of you being born are 1 in 4 trillion. And that ratio is hard to understand because we're a bunch of dum-dums. So imagine that there's one lone turtle in the ocean. And you get to fly over in a helicopter and you can go wherever you want in that ocean with a life preserver. And you throw the life preserver out. The odds of you throwing that life preserver around the turtle are the same odds it took for you to be born. So is that why so many of us live our lives not living the way we actually want to? Because we think this powerful tool, life in this case, will never be depleted? Is your will to live going to die before the reaper comes because of your fear of being yourself? If you want to be happier, if you want to improve your self-esteem, if you want to get what you want in life, you need to be honest with yourself and expend the courage it takes to be authentic. Because being authentic is where true happiness and fulfillment lies. Do you believe me? Do you think that you would be happier if you remained fake or fearful? If you lived for someone else? If you lived for what society tells you that you should do? That's it today. I have no keyword. Figure out what you're scared of and stop being scared of it. Bye. Check. And also I'll be doing a commenting on comments video and also I'll be going live on Friday. So is that why so many of us live our lives? So is that why so many of us live our lives